Happy Thursday, Canterbury, and welcome to Canterbury Live. I'm Andrea Allen, and it is Thursday, the 10th of December. Rightio. Let's head to the movies, the TV as well, and look back at some wonderful movies that were released today. First, out of Africa.
It's an odd feeling, farewell. Men go off to be tested for courage. And if we are tested at all, it's for patience, for doing without. But I'd always known that.
Is life really so damn simple for you?
Perhaps I ask less of it than you do.
I don't believe that at all.
An amazing, amazing movie. If you don't have it, head on down to Allison Videoland. It's just incredible. Out of Africa, based on the book by Isaac Dinesen, directed by Sydney Pollack, and starring, of course, the beautiful Meryl Streep and Robert Redford. It premiered in Los Angeles. It did win Best Picture in 1986. It follows the life of Karen Blixen, who establishes a plantation in Africa. Her life is complicated by a husband of convenience, Broer Blixen, a true love, Dennis, Robert Redford obviously, and troubles on the plantation, schooling of the natives, war, and catching VD from your husband. Well, how's that? God, there's a picture. Anyway, next up we head to shores very close to us. It is the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yet hope remains while the company is true. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Go now and rest, for you are weary with sorrow and much toil. Tonight, you will sleep. Welcome, Frodo of the Shire, one who has seen the eye.
Oh, Kate Blanchett, she was amazing in that role, wasn't she? Of course, that in 2001, epic high fantasy film directed by Mr. Peter Jackson, or Sir Peter Jackson. It was the first instalment in the Lord of the Rings film trilogy. The fate of Middle-earth hangs in the balance as Frodo and 8 companions who form the Fellowship of the Ring begin their journey to Mount Doom in the land of Mordor, the only place where the ring can be destroyed. And last but not least, today, a very funny man, Richard Pryor, died in 2005.
Give me credit. Now face front.
Will you tell him to hold still, please?
But hold still.
What's he doing?
Holding still.
Not looking at you, looking at me.
But face the camera.
That's perfect. Tell him not to move.
What? Don't move. I'm getting fed up with her.
Why is he doing this?
Great movie, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, 2005. Of course, he was a groundbreaking comedian whose profanely personal insights into race relations and modern life made him one of Hollywood's biggest stars. He died of a heart attack. He was 65. He died shortly before 8 a.m. after being taken to hospital. And there he was with Gene Wilder, another fabulous actor that I just love. Righty-ho, on today's show, the lovely Claire is here from West End Jewellers, and we're talking about the history. A lot of jewellery have a lot of history behind them, so we delve into more about that. And we welcome Melissa Benge here from First Avenue Property to talk about how are things at the moment in the real estate industry. And Phyllis Brown brings us down and keeps us calm through this Christmas stress. Rightio, but first up, talking about property, and you may have just purchased a home from Melissa and you need some help to actually transform it. Maybe some, I don't know, some renters potentially. We've talked about that, haven't we?
We have. Hi.
Welcome. Merry Christmas to you.
And Merry Christmas to you, Andrea.
And well, that's it, because a lot of people are buying property, aren't they, to invest, and they may just need a little bit of love because there's a few properties out there at the moment, isn't there, Marion?
Yes, there are for rental, and also people have bought homes and maybe moving in there newly for Christmas and want some ideas, you know, for visitors arriving and that sort of thing, you know, coming to stay. How are they going to make their home look fabulous? But
we've got to be smart about it as well, because we don't want to spend too much.
That's right,
don't we?
And it can be quite, you know, some simple, clever tricks to make a big impact. If you're staying overnight, obviously the bedroom's a great place to start. I've got some photos here of some bedrooms that you can see. Now, you might have a dedicated guest bedroom, you might have kicked the kids out, or it could be, you know, you've brought in a spare bed. But you've got something here that looks, you know, it's neat and tidy, but it's not going to wow your guests when they arrive.
Looks very dated.
You know, you add some more decorative cushions, a matching throws, a deluxe, you know, pillow there and cushions, and you know, it's freshens it up, looks inviting and warm. That's more of a feminine touch as well. So you might take into account whether it's a male, a female, or a couple that are coming to stay. This is a little bit more of a modern look, again neat and tidy, but looks fairly plain. In the next one, you'll see we've added another set of pillows there.
Wow,
a more
what a difference
striking, colourful. Added some candles as well. Candles are just fantastic for adding colour and scent and just really giving a warm, inviting feel, and that's the difference.
I love the angle of the throw. I've never seen it done before, but that's it makes it pop.
There's many ways to do it. You can do it along the bottom, you can angle. Some people just like to throw it, you know, to look relaxed, but really they've placed it strategically.
Exactly.
But there's, you know, many ways to do it. So it just really gives a much fresher, inviting look.
But and keeping it warm and inviting, isn't it?
Right.
That actually, we do want you to be here. No, it's not a hindrance, and I can't believe you're staying with us.
And I think that shows that you care and you've made an effort.
Yeah, definitely.
This next one is showing a dining room. You'll probably spend a lot of time in the living and dining room, so you really need to, again, make that look a little bit better. So here, clear the clutter. You know, just make sure you clear the clutter in the bedrooms and all the rooms. Added a table runner rather than that tablecloth, a vase of fresh flowers, a bowl of fresh fruit. Again, you can't quite see it, but on that windowsill there's a lovely bird cage with candles in it, and it just really makes such a difference.
And around Christmas time, that lends itself, you can add in, as you said, candles.
That's right.
Christmas theme.
Yes, you might do a Christmas table runner, or, you know, some gold or silver candles that are more Christmassy, or perhaps just a couple of strategically placed, you know, Christmas decorations. But keep it simple, because you don't want a lot of stress. So keep it simple, but still stylish.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with having simple. To make a statement at all. Let's touch on the candles, and we'll talk more of this in the future.
Right.
But you've got some candles here actually on display, because you do love them, don't you?
I do, and I use them a lot in styling for clients. Down the front, you've got some pink candles. You know, those little smaller ones, you can use those in bathrooms or bedrooms or anywhere. And then you've got the larger one just behind it. Here, you know, these can be in lounge rooms or wherever you like, but just lighting them, adding the scent, or just leaving them sit and look fabulous, and of course a range of colours to suit any decor, and it really makes a difference. And you have your standard one here that you always have, and I think that just says it all. You know, it just really adds to the sense of warmth. I'd love to light it, but I don't think the sprinklers would be very happy with me if I did that. No.
But the fragrance as well.
Yes. It's
to walk into a home that has that beautiful scent, especially around Christmas. I've got one that's burning at the moment. It's cinnamon.
Yes.
You know, maybe I don't have any cinnamon pinwheels in the oven, but
and vanilla, and you know, there's lots of beautiful flavours. Sometimes scents, sometimes lavender and the like. And you know, if you've got your mother-in-law coming over for the first time for Christmas, or you know, maybe you've got your new daughter-in-law, you know, you do want to be making an impression.
Yeah, an impression,
a positive impression.
That's a good idea. And you never know, have it burning in that, and have one put away when they leave. Here's a gift.
Yeah,
from us. That's a little simple thing.
She'll love you.
She'll love you. It's very important your mother-in-law loves you, isn't it?
Exactly.
Very important.
Right.
Hey, thank you, Marion, for some more fantastic advice you enjoyed today out there. Isn't she looking amazing in orange? She needs to wear more of that colour. Smart Property Transformations, 021 775 325. The website is smartpt.co.nz. So what was your lesson then from Marion? Candles, candles, candles. You never can have enough. Rightio. After the break, First Avenue Property join us to talk about how is the industry at the moment for real estate. And, she wants to leave already. Marion will be home 2 ticks. Here we go, lovely, for your cup of tea. And West End Jewellers will talk about the history behind some of the wonderful bits in our jewellery cabinet. See you soon.
We'll find it hard to sleep tonight.
Watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming.
It's always a beautiful time when Claire is here, and she's a bit of an angel. Well, actually, we both are, aren't we, Claire?
We are.
Both wearing MAC Angel lipstick. That was a bit of a quinkadinky.
Yep.
Love it. Both got style. Your piece that you've got on you now, the necklace you have, is just stunning. And I say that because it just looks beautiful on you, but has a lot of history behind that one.
It does. I fell in love with it when it arrived in store purely because I love the shape and it's quite delicate without being intricate, I guess. But it's from 1862. And
so it was 1862?
1862, yeah. Can't remember, I think it might be Birmingham. It's either Birmingham or London. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Just being 1862 is impressive on its own.
It's amazing. And
it could be Timbuktu.
And it's a one-off. It's one of those pieces. I have people comment on it all the time, and it's a one-off that you won't.
I'm really loving rose gold at the moment.
I know, same. It's my favourite.
Yeah, I'm not really into the yellow gold, but the rose gold is just something quite special.
Yeah, I wear a lot of rose and silver jewellery together, so it works really well. So. And roses and a lot of older pieces are in the rose gold because that's what, and they usually gilded it so it was bright yellow, but rose gold is.
And the colour of rose, where does it come from? Like
copper.
It's copper.
But it's a really small amount. Yeah. But that's where that pinky tone comes from.
So they add that into the gold to lighten it.
Yeah, to give it that colour.
Hey, I learned something today.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Now, funny enough, you were going to bring in a piece to talk about today. You know, funny as it is at West End Jewellers, they actually sold it.
Yeah, well, it is Christmas.
It is Christmas, it is.
But the piece I was going to bring in, I am sad that I couldn't bring it with me. It was a Vesta case, which I was just explaining is what they use to keep matches dry in the war. So inside that Vesta case, it was sterling silver, and inside it was actually a letter from a family member to another family member from the war. Which is amazing. That never happens. We don't ever 100% get a story behind a piece, which is why I wanted to bring it with me. But unfortunately, it's gone to a beautiful new home. So lucky her. But yeah, it's
well. The wonderful thing, one of the great features at West End Jewellers, is you do have, you know, a lot of my jewellery stores have a little bit of vintage. Yep. You have a lot.
Over half our store, is vintage estate, second-hand, pre-loved, whatever you want to call it. We make sure everything obviously is in a saleable condition. There are pieces we can't keep, which sometimes breaks our heart. But the pieces that we do have are beautiful and generally one-off, unique items like my piece that I'm wearing.
Yeah, that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts though, when people are coming in to buy a piece, does it matter that it has been pre-loved before?
Not to most people, no.
I think it's quite sexy, don't you?
I love it. I love that idea of a one-off without paying huge amounts of money to have something made. It's a completely different market. It isn't for everybody, but honestly 9 times out of 10, no one really cares. And you're getting a piece that has a history and has a story, regardless of whether we know what it is or not. It has one.
What's the worst case scenario? It's a warlock had it before you, or some far off land. The odds are no, it's not.
Exactly.
You know, it's just the circumstances have changed.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's quite simple. Yeah. So what bits have you got at the moment that's sort of standing out? You've got quite a wide selection: necklaces, rings, bracelets, watches.
There are a couple of watches actually. We have a really old Rolex at the moment that's really nice, a gents one, 18 karat gold. It's beautiful. I'm actually
that's
amazed.
A wild factor under the tree.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm amazed that hasn't gone yet, although we are 2 weeks out. So possibly we'll go in the next couple of weeks.
Canterburyans are so last minute purchases, aren't they?
And it is, this season we're noticing that trend hugely. But no, pieces that we do have, I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head. We have a few diamond rings that have just come through that have old cut diamonds in them, so you're pre-1912 for the diamond.
So would that be estates then they're coming from, or?
Yeah, generally, yeah. Most of the time they're from estates. It's 9 times out of 10, that's where our older jewellery will come from.
And I'm not sad to say because it's wonderful, but you'll be open through on the 24th on Christmas Eve.
Till 5 p.m. on Christmas
5 p.m.
Yep.
No rest for the wicked.
No.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
You too.
And you just keep on being an angel there with your angel lips. Love it, love it. West End Jewellers, 41 Colombo Street, Sydenham. And I always tell you, I know it's boring, but you need to know. If you go to Sydenham Bakeries, look over the road and Claire over there waving out the window. westendjewellers.co.nz. And now it is time for property.
This is James. He's renting out his property through First Avenue. And this is also James. He's using someone else. With First Avenue, James has an action plan tailor-made to his needs. The team is always available to make sure everything is running smoothly. First Avenue are about finding the right people for your property. They know the secret is to keep both tenants and homeowners happy. They understand they're dealing with your most important asset. Don't be like that, James. First Avenue Property, where you come first.
It is cool. Melissa, it is cool, actually, isn't it? Adam, who was in the ad, actually, his mum and him have just been travelling around the world. It's quite lovely, isn't it?
Really
and we'll touch on property next time, but welcome to you, Melissa Bench.
Thank you. Thanks,
from First Avenue Property. Brilliant time to talk about real estate. Being Christmas, are people a bit scared of real estate at the moment being Christmas, or what is it like at the moment?
It's a mixture. Obviously, there's some people who want to focus on spending time with family and friends and take a rest, but there are still some people out and about in the market. There's some people who are visiting town. They might be in town to visit some family, but also people that actually have time to look now because their normal business life is so time poor. But yeah,
exactly. And you could be visiting actually from another,
that's right.
Could be a couple of Aucklanders out there.
Yes,
come down to this fine Canterbury Plains and go, hey, this place isn't that bad.
The Garden City, fantastic.
The Garden City, exactly.
Yes.
Or are you finding that a lot of people at the moment have cashed up or settled everything with their properties, and they're just sick of them, Melissa?
Absolutely.
They're sick of seeing this place that they've been living in.
Yes, and I find that, certainly over this year and recent months, there's a lot of cash settlements happening between insurance companies, and whether it's for the repair or a rebuild. People that maybe have used a lot of energy as part of that negotiation and settlement process have come to an end, and in some cases they just can't face going through it now, the actual rebuild or the repair, and they're deciding to move on, take the money and spend it elsewhere, and we're finding quite a bit of that in the market. But it's good for the market because there's a lot of quality property come out of it. There's a lot of betterment for Christchurch, so it's great. It's a real pleasure to sell property here.
Love that word. And new beginnings, I love that when you were saying as well.
Yes.
That was a time, but now it's to move forward.
Absolutely.
Melissa, I'm sure you're more than aware, more than anyone, there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of real estate companies and agents. What makes you and First Avenue so unique?
Okay, we see it as we're like more of a boutique company where we focus on our customer and getting their needs met primarily as a priority. So if you're a person selling your property with us, then it's our duty to negotiate the best possible price for you. So when we get an offer on your home, we're not just accepting that that's, well, we've received an offer, it's going to sell for that amount. Really, our focus is to negotiate the best possible price we can for you. So you just keep sending us back to the buyer to ask for another $5,000, $10,000. That's our job, to get the best possible market price for you. But at the same time, we still have a duty of care to the buyer, and that's okay. We're there to look after their needs and make sure they're happy. But really, we're about promoting the features and the benefits of your home and why it's the best proposition for them and why it's worth that money.
And I love that. We don't want a real estate agent that's going to make you feel guilty.
Yes.
Well, aren't you lucky? I've just sold it. You want more? How greedy.
Absolutely.
You want them to fight for you. So I love that you...
Send us out to work. That's what you pay for. We're going to work for you.
Jeez, you said it now, Melissa. Crikey. Oh, another 10K. Another 10K.
Absolutely.
Christmas time, a lot of the family are around, which is wonderful, but we could be having a lot of difficult conversations with parents that need to actually move out of the family home.
Yes, look to downsize.
Can you help us on that journey?
Life. Yes,
it
absolutely.
could be quite difficult.
And a lot of allaying that stress or those difficult conversations is about providing information. Sometimes information and knowledge can help reduce fear. So if we can do, our approach is very calm and not high pressure. Our approach is that we're here to provide a service.
to you and your family, if we can provide the information that enables them to think, well, if you sold it for X and then you could move to something for Y, then and it's a newer, smaller, easier place to care for and less garden and so forth, then that's all part of that, I guess, promotion to your parents and to the family to help them feel secure in what the move is.
Yeah, and what a wonderful asset you would be to them as well, to actually endorse what they've been trying to say. Probably. It's been a conversation that's been tried to have over quite a few months.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to meeting your better half, or your other half,
Marty,
with the property management side of the company next week. You have a fabulous day, and again, enjoy that wonderful weather out there.
Thank you.
Rightio, now stay with us after the break, talking about a list of those great words like calm and keeping you stress-free. That is the role for Phyllis Brown after the break.
He knows when you're awake.
Really?
He knows if you've been back.
Whoa! It's a little bit gangster going down with the Christmas chef. I wasn't expecting it, Phyllis. I was going to be, you know, tranquil and calming, and then whoa, we bust that one out. Thanks, Gordon. You're having a good time in there.
Yeah.
Phyllis.
Yes.
And I hope you're not stressed out by that music.
No, I'm not now.
But we are talking about stress busters.
We are. We're
Christmas.
talking about stress busters because it's a time where the pressure's on. And the pressure's on because we're winding things down at work, but we're winding things up at home. We've got family obligations that we may or may not be keen on, and we're trying to get everything perfect. I think we want everything to be perfect, and so we tend to pile the pressure on ourselves, which may or may not be necessary to do that. It might not be a necessary thing to do, yeah.
Yeah, we have this image of what a home should look like at Christmas time, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
So Meet the Beavers or something like that whole classical sort of look about it and that. But yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea.
No.
So what can we do? What simple things? That's a big question to ask. How can we make it less stressful though?
Well, simple things, planning and preparation. So, and grouping tasks together. So, you know, if you're doing your food shop, then do your food shop. Don't get distracted by the gift shopping. So make good use of your time, because time is of the essence. So, you know, make sure that, you know, if you are going gift shopping, you're going and group the types of gifts. So you're going to that shop, this kind of shop, and that kind of shop, rather than randomly going round and round the shopping malls and you're back to front and, you know, this way and that way. Try and plan and prepare for what it is that you want to go when you're going out into the Christmas shopping spree type energy. And also have your budget. Really budget, have a price limit on your gifts, and don't put yourself under that financial pressure so that, you know, come February and March you're still paying for the Christmas. You know, have a financial budget. Make sure that, you know, a few good gifts are far better than lots of maybe cheap gifts. You know, go for quality rather than quantity, I think. Because I
always
think
love a bit of quality, Phyllis.
Instead of quantity,
quality over quantity. Excellent. One big diamond ring rather than lots of little ones.
Yes.
Yeah, like that. What's some simple exercises then we can do to actually alleviate a bit of this stress?
So what you can do is take time out for yourself. So whether it is, you know, having a deeply warm, nurturing bubble bath, but with the bathroom door locked, so that the kids can't get in. I don't know, but my little son always used to barge into my bath time. So did the dog. So did everybody else.
Yeah.
So, you know, taking time out.
Yeah, I like your bath times, Phyllis.
Come in. And, both ethical and spiritual and non-spiritual. And continue doing what you do. Don't give up on your yoga class or your swimming meets or your coffee mornings with your friends. Keep your social life going, because, again, planning and preparing, you can always create time for the shopping, but you'll never get that time back that you normally allot for your friends, and that's quite good. Getting out of the house, going and just sitting by the beach or going for a walk, or, you know, it is easy to say sit in the garden, but we don't sit in our garden because we see all the gardening things that need to be done before the Christmas Barbie. So maybe going to the Botanic Gardens or going down to, you know, the Sumner or wherever, and just taking in a fresh vista. If you have time to meditate, then that's always nice. and then listen to some music that might get you into the Christmas spirit. So, you know, if it is Michael Bublé or my husband's absolute horror, Glee Christmas, which I have in the car.
Glee Christmas.
Glee Christmas.
Do you know what? I love it. Have Glee Tuesday.
Yeah.
I know Gordon would love it. He's been in my ear. He wants Glee, and I've been saying no.
The Glee
Do you think
Christmas.
we should?
Oh yeah.
Tuesday can be the day for him. That's amazing.
Have it in the car and get into that kind of Christmas spirit. Have fun.
It's simple, isn't it?
Have some fun. You know?
What is our card then this week? Looks like someone's having a bit of a nine-eyes.
So it's no worries.
worries.
Hand all of your worries over to the angels. If you've forgotten your trifle sponges, don't worry about it. If you haven't got, you know, an extra pair of socks for your granddad, don't worry about it. Just hand your worries over. I'm
going to worry about if I miss my cream though for my brandy snaps. That will really rip the knickers. Got to have cream in your brandy snaps.
You do. So
okay. What's one tip to take away this weekend? There's a lot of road rage happening out there. That's a good one. I'm going to put on you right now.
Yeah.
Road rage. Someone just cut in front of me or took my car park. What do I do?
Just move on, step back, take a deep breath. It's not worth it. They're not worth it. You know, and, you know, if you do take the higher ground, the higher moral ground, it might not feel right at the time, but actually you might find a better car park. You might find you're in a better spot or closer to the door. So, you know, just take a deep breath and don't get caught up in their energy or their rage, because that I have actually followed someone out of a car park. I've been so enraged. So
not you, Phyllis Brown.
I'm afraid, so I'm very ashamed to say so.
Just stick a big crystal in the tyre.
No, I caught myself and thought, what am I doing? I go home. So I went home.
There's anarchy somewhere in there, Phyllis Brown. Good advice, sweetie. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today on this beautiful Thursday. Have a fantastic day. Tomorrow we will be doing a lot about what's happening in your neighbourhood in Christchurch. Enjoy today. Thank you for joining me. Ciao.